What is going on, y'all? Psych Perspectives, GeoFlux here. And in this video, sorry about that, because I'm eating lunch. In this video, I want to focus on burning the cape. I'm calling this video Burn the Cape. First of all, I'm giving a huge shout out to Black women, LGBTQ plus people, trans people, and the Jewish people, Jewish Americans in the USA. And if you're wondering why I'm giving shout outs to these specific demographics of people, is because I'm looking at how the election turned out and the percentages of the votes that went to the candidate and party that I voted for and supported. Now, before I get into this, it's important to note that the Democrats are not perfect. The Democrats are not the end-all be-all. The Republicans damn sure are not the end-all be-all. And damn sure ain't perfect either. I agree that it sucks that we have to continue to essentially vote for a two-party political system that doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't properly represent any of us at all. And yet at the same time, nothing happens overnight. So you have, in my opinion, I'm going to pick the best option that is currently available to me while continuing to fight for better. So yeah, 86% of LGBTQ plus registered voters voted for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, the Democratic Party, for the presidential election. 92% of Black women, African American women, voted for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz for the Democratic Party for the presidential election. 78% of Black men, Black African American men, voted for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, the Democratic Party, for the general presidential election. Let's not leave that out either. So looking at those numbers, and then of course, Jewish Americans in the USA also voted in high percentage for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz for the Democratic Party presidential candidate in the general election. And okay, round of applause for those demographics. Now, moving forward, I am African American, Black American, intersex, born intersex, identify as an intersex trans man who is a part of the gay queer community, LGBTQ plus, college educated, working class. So burn the cape. The reason we're saying burn the cape is it's really ridiculous to expect people to constantly play Captain Save-A-Ho. I'm just gonna keep it real. Black women in particular are constantly being essentially used as mules for other marginalized demographics of people. So Black women will be out here fighting for social justice, equity, freedoms, rights, reparations, resources, support, advocating for their communities and advocating for other marginalized communities, just to be thrown under the bus when that other marginalized community or demographic gets a piece of the pie and throws the Black woman under the bus, who literally is the reason why they got that piece of the pie. And I know even within the LGBTQIA plus community, it's the same sentiment when it comes to transgender people. Trans women, Black and brown trans women, and Black and brown trans feminine people are the very reason why we have the LGBTQIA plus rights that we currently have. They're the reasons why we have the freedoms that we have. But again, people within the rainbow alphabet gang community have constantly thrown trans women, black and brown trans women, and transgender people in general under the bus. Yet we're the reasons why you have the rights to be who you are and the freedoms to exist as you are today. So again, burn the cape. It's ridiculous. A lot of us are stressing out, depressed, stroking out, dying early, having all these health issues directly related to high cortisol levels, lacking sleep, lacking peace, and you're putting in all of this effort and sacrificing your own lives and happiness for groups of people who will never reciprocate that effort, will never replenish what they are taking. This soup is so good. And the seasoning, oh man, A1, 10 out of 10. But yeah, like I was saying, it's not replenished, it's not supported, it's not it's not reciprocated. And a lot of times we think that we have allies that we really don't have allies with. And granted, are all white women a problem? No, but collectively, yes. Are all white men a problem? No, but collectively, yes. Are all cis people bad? No, but collectively, yes. Are all rich and wealthy people bad? Probably so, because either way it goes, in order for you to amass that amount of wealth, you're literally stealing resources and wages from other people. And in this case, hundreds of millions of people, billions of people are living in poverty around the world because of the few at the top who are hoarding resources and essentially hoarding, stealing wages and salaries from people. And these are privileged identity groups, okay? And once again, when you look at the 2024 election, the 2020 election, the 2016 election, and these are the general presidential elections that I'm speaking on. But when you look at 2016, 2020, 2024, white women go out of their way in large percentages to vote for Donald J. Trump and associates, just to turn around and want to talk about how we need to come together and we need to get our pussy hats and we need to march on Washington, Million Women's March, and oh my God, we're oppressed. I can't believe it. Oh my goodness. We need allyship. We have to come together. White feminism. Notice I said white feminism, because feminism in of itself, in my opinion and experience, is not bad. But white feminism is problematic because it's essentially white supremacy dressed in pink. Let's just keep it real, because oftentimes they're not concerned about black and brown, Asian and Hispanic, Latino, Native American, indigenous women. They're also not, a lot of the radical feminists are literally trans exclusion radical feminists, TERFs, are transphobic, and also a lot of times these same so-called feminists are racist, are homophobic, and other isms and phobias that they have while claiming to be fighting for women and equality and gender equality and all this other shit. But every time we turn around, these are the very same women that will go out in large percentages to vote against their own best interests and throw multiple marginalized demographics of people under the table after they rid on your coattails, specifically black women, rid on their coattails just to say F you at the polls. So a lot of us are just like, burn the cape. Same thing for trans people. We've sat up here and seen multiple white, predominantly white cis gays sit up here and talk about F the trans community, it's the remove the T, we're gays for Trump. And yet these are now the same idiots looking crazy because Project 2025 has already laid out they're going to be removing marriage equality. They're going to go back to criminalizing homosexual sex. See, you thought it was just about, oh, well, if we stop associating with the trans community, we won't have to worry. Ha! Surprise, surprise, surprise. You got the, like I said, when you are privileged and you are coming from a privileged lens, that selfishness always, inevitably comes back to bite you in the ass. So, and then the Latinos, here it is. A lot of you think you're white and you're not. But okay, you'll be shown that you're not white very soon. They're talking about the mass deportations, ending birthright citizenship. A lot of you who voted for him in the Latino community are literally about to be deported. ICE agents will be literally doing whole neighborhood community raids, as well as going to people's places of employment and raiding and deporting folks. And then the out cold part is this also includes other ethnicities, other races of people who are also immigrants. Again, when you're selfish and you only want to think about your issues, this is what happens. And this is what I mean by a lot of the folks who want to talk about black and brown unity. Well, you need to address the Latinos who clearly are not interested in black and brown unity. You need to address. Anyways, so a lot of us that are double and triple and quadruply marginalized literally received yet another brutal wake-up call, another brutal awakening that, you know what, you really don't have the friends and family that you thought. You're actually on an island by yourself. And while you're out here sacrificing and marching and protesting and volunteering and civic engagement and raising mutual funds and doing all of this grassroots activism and going above and beyond the call of duty for somebody that's willing to sell you out at the drop of a hat. A lot of us have realized that. So a lot of us are kind of like, yeah, burn the cape. I'm not about to continue to burn myself out for people who could give two F's about me and my well-being. Also, what's going on in Palestine? Ongoing genocide. Zionism. Israel is committing genocide with USA tax dollars. Both the Democrats and Republicans are wrong, in my opinion, when it comes to this topic. We should have been had a ceasefire. We should stop funding Israel in general. I don't understand why we're giving them billions of dollars of our tax dollars so they can have universal health care, so they can have rights for abortion. But then here we are in the USA and we don't have universal health care and we don't even have access to reproductive rights and freedoms, aka abortion as well. I'm just saying. And then you're literally using our tax dollars to kill women, children, men, families, communities, innocent people. But here's the out cold part. You had a lot of people who rightfully didn't want to support Kamala Harris or Tim Walz because of what's going on with the genocide in Palestine. And yet at the same time, these same folks are also looking rather stupid because Trump definitely is not going to support your cause, at least. And this is, I hate to say at least, because at the end of the day, we're talking about people's families have been massacred, have been murdered, have been slaughtered. And I don't want to downplay that because people are dying. They're being killed. This is ethnic cleansing. This is genocide. And unfortunately, at the same time, at least over here, there was a possibility of getting a weapons embargo, ceasing fire. Meanwhile, Netanyahu is working in cahoots with Donald Trump So you can just kiss all that goodbye. Okay? That's what I mean by, my granny says this to this very day, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Essentially, you're guaranteed this because it's already in your hand. You have there's no guarantee that you're going to catch those other two birds. Okay? So, and I'm going to also say it. And this is crazy, but I'm going to say it. I would rather deal with the devil that I know than the one that's claiming to be not the devil and is going to do this, that, and the third for us. And I'm fighting for you. Meanwhile, I have an entire document, Project 2025, that's anti everything that you are. That's so good. That man know he can cook. Tastes good. And it's hearty and filling. You can cook. But yeah, I just had to say that. I'll probably do more videos on this as time goes on. But burning the cape, I'm not about to be stressing myself out anymore for things that ultimately, unless we have allyship that's actually reciprocal, ain't nothing really gonna happen here. I'm gonna be the one burning out and potentially prematurely dying and losing my rights while you're sitting over there voting against me. But yet you want me to fight for your rights. You want me to fight for your issues, but you're not willing to reciprocate that same energy. So yeah, burning the cape. I'm not being Captain Save a cis male, Captain Save a white woman, I'm not doing that no more. Because a lot of you ain't Captain Save an intersex, Captain Save a trans person, Captain Save a black person, Captain Save a black woman. Y'all not any of that. But you want us to be warriors on the ground for you, but when it's time for you to reciprocate that energy and actually show up for us, y'all voting against us. Y'all doing everything in your power to undermine us. So yeah. What she say in Friday, Smokey Mama? Make it work. Yeah, make it work. Figure it out on your own. Ain't nobody coming to that Million Women's March. Fuck you and the horse that you rode in on. Because once again, you white women should have been concerned about that November 5th. Because you know what? I went to the Million Women's March in 2017 and in 2018. 2017, I went to the one in Washington, D.C. 2018, I went to the one in my home state in Michigan. And literally, I'll never forget this. We got a hotel. It was me and two of my other close friends. We got a hotel in Arlington and drove into Washington, D.C. for the march. We literally had white women in the lobby of the hotel with their pink pussy hats on, talking, mind you, sitting up there with Make America Great Again shirts, banners, bandanas, hats, and everything else, talking about how great the Donald J. Trump's first inauguration was, because it was literally the day before the Million Women's March in 2017. And now they sitting up in the lobby with their pink pussy hats talking about how they're going to go down to the march. I saw the double face, the two-face, the fakeness, the straight up fake ass allyship, the typical white feminism shit. I saw it up close in front, honey. So again, how the hell you gonna be talking about we need to show up and support y'all, but y'all literally voted for him just to show up for the Million Women's March the next day for symbolism? Because it's fake as shit. Case in point, marriage equality. A lot of these white cis gays with money were the main ones, and the white cis lesbians, I'm going there, they the main ones who benefited from marriage equality. Yet, black and brown, LGBTQ plus people of color, trans people, other people a part of the Alphabet Gang, Rainbow Warrior Gang, were out there knocking doors, canvassing, phone banking, having conversations, helping people register to vote, fighting on your behalf so you can get married, even though I am likely never going to get married. That is not an issue for me. But for my community as a whole, I believe we should have the same opportunities, rights, and freedoms as cisgendered heterosexuals are. So I got out there. But then when it's time for you to reflect that same energy for trans people to also have the same rights and freedoms as cisgender people, you threw me and my community under the bus. So again, people are sick and tired of you fake ass people, these fake ass allyships, these fake ass communities that don't even fucking exist. Let's just keep it real. So now a lot of us are just like, nah, we good. Y'all do what y'all gotta do. Wish you well. Hopefully things don't end up as bad as they are predicted to be. And then too, if I'm going to be fighting, I'm going to be fighting for people that are already showing up for me consistently, not people who say one thing and then do the opposite. Basically, we're giving you a taste of your own medicine. And then too, we've been fighting and busting our asses off. It is time for a lot of us to actually rest and relax. It's time for us to prioritize ourselves, our needs, our feelings, our community. Okay, I'm learning. I've been doing this. First of all, I'm 32 years old. The first official presidential campaign that I truly worked on was President Obama's 2007-2008. I'm 14 years old. 14, 15, 16, that realm, years old. Before that, I did a lot of, I would show up to things because my grandparents were a part of it. My mom was a part of it. My family members were a part of it. Proud labor union members, working class and professionals and in general, right? And then also, we've pretty much always been staunch Democrats, staunch, left-leaning liberals. And we're very involved in our community. We've always been that way. That's how I was raised. So for me, it's been well over 15 years of doing this type of work. Just to constantly have it, just to be constantly told this on a consistent basis by the people that I'm fighting for. So yeah, you can't blame folks for burning the cape. And honestly, it's not marginalized people's jobs to carry privileged people who have way more rights and freedoms than us in the first damn place. And then to the 22% of black men that voted for Trump. When stop and frisk is implemented at a national level and the police are given impunity, and they already killing black folks at alarming rates, black cis men in particular, when it comes to police, for example, at alarming rates. I'm not marching in no Black Lives Matter shit because a lot of you are homophobic, transphobic, misogynistic bastards, and you ain't thinking about me. So I'm not gonna be sitting up here wasting my time making flyers, making posters. Oh, we Black Lives Matter, when in reality, it's black cis het men who matter. Everybody else in the black community is constantly overlooked, downplayed, and undervalued. But I also want to highlight 78% of black men voted for Kamala Harris, Tim Walz. So to the 78%, which is the majority of the black men that are registered to vote in the USA, thank you. That's allyship. that's showing up. But I'm going to say it. Until we address misogyny, racism, homophobia, classism, transphobia, xenophobia, and the educational gap, literally, you have people who don't know what tariffs are and literally thought that the tariffs were going to be on China, not realizing if we put tariffs on China, any products that are coming from China are going to be double and triply marked up. But this is what happens when you're uneducated, when you're uninformed. And you don't want to listen to the people that are most marginalized, who are actually the ones going through the oppression. Like, how many times do black people, and in particularly black women, have to tell you, hey, there's a problem here, there's an issue here, red flag, flag on the play, before you fucking listen. So again, privileged people, unfortunately, until they start suffering the repercussions of their decisions and actually truly feeling the brunt of the pain themselves directly, nothing is going to change. So unfortunately, y'all are going to have to get hurt. Because you don't give a damn when you see us being hurt. Because you're single issues, you're selfish as hell, and a lot of you have the viewpoint, well, it doesn't impact me, so why should I care? Okay, we about to start matching that energy right back at you. Again, the shit is just, is bonkers. But like I said, burn the cape. It is not your job to play Captain Save a Nigga, save a bitch, save a hoe. People have to want to come together collectively, reciprocated energy and effort, and truly be allies. Until that day comes, it really is worry about your damn self. Worry about the people that already show up for you. Because it's a dying cause in many cases to be doing what we doing. This was so good. So good. Delicious. Tortellini soup. Homemade. He be chefing it up in the kitchen. I appreciate him a lot. But that's that. Ain't nothing else for me to really say in this current video. I might have other videos later, but I really am about to be on some burn the cape self-care shit, because it's like, we put too much energy into people who don't care about us. I'm out.